feel like I'm going to be making 1,000 videos today, potentially. It looks like all the news about free agency is going to be coming out ahead of time, which is very interesting because usually we don't see that as often in the NHL compared to some of the other leagues like the NBA, for example, but it really does seem like this year the analysts are really on their toes. Ever since the expansion draft leak and everything to now Elliot Friedman talking about Gabriel Landeskog. You're right, that's right, you read the title of this video. It looks like Landeskog's issues with probably signing and not signing potentially with the team he is the captain of in Colorado Avalanche are going to be put to bed. It is looking like the Colorado Avalanche will be signing Gabriel Landeskog to a 7x7 deal tomorrow. Obviously, we don't know anything that's 100% official yet because free agency does start tomorrow. So this is, again, just reported speculation. But I trust Elliot Friedman, a guy that come out here and say that. So that's pretty good, reliable information, I feel like. So let's talk about this a little bit because, honestly, I saw a lot of people talk about, oh, Landeskog is going to Seattle, Landeskog is going here, there, everywhere. But honestly, I knew he was going to be staying. It just doesn't seem like a smart move for Gabriel Landeskog, a guy who's been with Colorado through all their ups and downs, a guy who was with them on that horrible team just a few years ago and everything else. He's been with them from the start. He's the captain, and he wants to be there. It makes no sense for him to go to a half-rebuilding team now or whatever the other teams that he was linked to, for example, like Seattle, and starting fresh. It makes sense that he would want to be on a cup-contending team that he's already the captain of and stay there, so I'm really glad to see this. And honestly, at 7x7, you could argue that, yeah, that's a little bit steep compared to what, obviously, McKinnon's making, but Nathan McKinnon is on a fantastic dynamite steal of a contract. It's very hard to get anybody signed to something like that at the caliber that McKinnon is. So paying Landeskog, your captain, 7x7 at 28 years old, obviously the term is a little long, but I think this contract won't bite them in the butt necessarily for a few years down the line. I really do like Landeskog as a player. Obviously this year, 54 games played, 20 goals, 32 assists for 52 points. That was higher than what it was last year for him in the exact same amount of games. Last year he had 44 points, so he did have a really good year, and he's always been a very steady productor. When you look at 2018-19, a career high 75 points, he's a very, very good two-way defensive-minded center who can really play anywhere in their top six because of how good he is defensively. I really like the signing for them. He's the captain, so it automatically just makes sense to want to keep him. I think the term, obviously, at 7 years at 28, this is his last big contract, but it's also nice to see them lock him up. This contract won't look so bad until you're probably in year maybe 6 or 7 near the end of it, and even then, I still think he would be a reliable player, and then by then, also, the cap will be going up again. We'll be out of this COVID world where things are staying flat capped, so it's not going to really, it might be bad, it might not be bad, but for the short term right now in your window to win, keeping Landeskog is the most important thing. So, Colorado fans, as a Jets fan, guy who you play, a division rival, I think this is a good signing for you guys in the long term. It might bite you, but I think for right now, your chances to win, that's all that matters, and keeping him around is very, very important. It's not like he sucks either, because when you look at his defensive stats, his advanced stats, he's probably one of the most consistent guys in the NHL. An 85% WAR, and when you look at all of his other stats spread out there, other than his finishing being at 66% because he's not the greatest goal scorer, but still able to put up 20 goals, that's not horrible. The guy is a really good all-around two-way player that has offense, that can play anywhere in your lineup. Like, let's be real, you can use Landeskog on your power play, you could use him on your penalty kill, you can use him anywhere when you're in a jam, and that's really important to have in a versatile captain. I really like this move for them in the short term and in the long term. It might bite you, like I said, that's the only thing you have to worry about, but even then at 28 years old, it's not like he's 31, 32, and you're like the Jets signing Blake Wheeler to a massive deal like that. This makes sense to me. I think obviously maybe $6 million would have been nicer, but for $7 million, you can't really complain to keep your captain, a guy who is really good, who wants to stay here, who was disappointed contracts weren't getting further, so I'm really glad to see him get the offer he deserves. But let me know your thoughts, hockey fans out there. What do you think about this deal? Colorado fans, are you happy to be keeping your captain? Are you a little nervous about the cap hit and term? What are all your thoughts? Let me know down in the description. Not the description. Why do I always say that? In the comment section below, as always. If you're new to this channel, regardless of the team that you root for, definitely consider dropping a subscription. I'm just a biased Jets fan sharing his thoughts on all things hockey related. So if you're ever interested in seeing another fan of a different team's perspective on news and what going abouts of the NHL, I guess, definitely consider dropping a subscription. It really does help this channel out. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. Peace, love, and positivity, all you beautiful people out there around the world. I will see you guys very, very soon. It seems like we'll be covering a lot more news today, so stay tuned for more content. Turn on notifications if you haven't already. I'll see you guys later. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.